panelists today. We are here to present our thesis defense, entitled Student Attitude Toward Probability and Statistic Academic Achievement of Higher Education. But let us first introduce ourselves. My name is Hyacinth Valdez Osiyet.
My name is Benjamin Bagiwan.
My name is Mark-Angel P. Bilyastiki.
Introduction. The teaching learning of probability and statistics increasingly occupies an important place in higher education institutions due to current need in a professional trained in dealing with a large amount of information processed in minimum time, and mastery of techniques and data analysis that support decision making based on the inference of sample data. With that, people forget what they do not use but attitude stick, and considering that statistic coursework is perhaps the major contributor to a statistical relay, a society student attitude toward statistics deserves special attention. Statistic education research over the last decades has emphasized the need for reform in the teaching of statistics, with a growing body of research in this area. An increasing number of scientific publications devoted to this topic indicates that statistic education is developing as a new and emerging discipline. Student attitude and belief can unify learning statistics and may affect the extent to which students will develop useful statistical thinking skills and apply what they have learned outside the classroom. And also, student attitude and belief regarding statistics deserves attention for three reasons. Number one, their role in influencing the teaching learning process. Number two, their role in influencing student statistical behavior after they leave the classroom. And three, their role influencing whether student will choose to enroll in statistics course later on beyond a first encounter with statistics.
Statement of the problem details ensuring that the research question is clearly defined and alignment with research objective. The statement of the problem typically consists of the three main components. The first component defines the current state of the problem, highlighting issues that need to be addressed. This involvement identifying the key challenge and concern faced by the stakeholder and outlining the impact of the problem on the wider community and industry. The second component of the statement of the problem present of the present solution or ideals statement of the given situation. This involvement settings of research outcomes and objectives that the research aims at achievement. It should be clearly specific and measurable so that progress can be monitored and evaluated through the research progress. The final component of this statement of the problem discusses how the research bridges the gap between the current and ideal state. This involvement of naming the research methodology process and tool that will be used in achieving the research goal. Is it important to ensure that the melody in infrared and effect address the research question and objective. Overall, the statement of the problem is critical in research as it provides in clear roadmap and research progress. We set out the research question and the objective in specific items, enabling research to focus their effort and research to address the identified problem.
Hypothesis. The aim of this study is to investigate the relationship between the attitude and academic achievement of students of a compulsory subject of fourth period, aim of probabilistic and statistical content of Federal University. The hypothesis we hold is that there will be a relationship between attitude towards learning and academic performance, and that students with more positive attitude will obtain better grades. Statistical analysis. Factor analysis can identify variables representative of much larger set of variables for use in subsequent multivariate analysis or create a whole new set of variables to partially or completely replace the original set of variables for inclusion in subsequent techniques. In both cases, the purpose is to maintain the nature and character of the original variables, reducing their number to simplify the multiple analyzed to be used later. A factor would represent the correlation between an original variable and its factor when determining a label of significance to the interpretation of load. A similar approach to determining the statistical significance of correlation coefficient can be used. Table 1, which contains the sample size required for each factor load value is considered significant. It is assumed that values considered for constructing the table generate significance that are double to conventional correlation coefficient.
Result and discussion. Table 2 presents an absolute and relative of the students' response to each for the item. For the attitude scale toward to probability and statistic. 1. I regard statistic probability as much needed better in my care. Purity agree 69 51.5%, 46 34 and 3%, 10 7.5%, 7.2 5% to 1.5%. 2. Statistic and probability issues believe that N 3 to 0.2%, 10 7.5%, 18 13.4%, 34 35, 25.4%, 69 51.5%. 3. Studying for working with statistic and probability does not scare me. 24 17.19%, 47 35.1, 31.1%, 27 and 20.1%, 5 3.7%. 4. Using elements of statistic and probability is fun for me. 6 and 4.5%, 33 and 24.6%, 43 and 32.1%, 32 and 23.9%, 20 and 14.9%. 5. Statistic and probability are to be used in my professional practice. 5 and 3.7%, 9 6.7%, 26 and 18.7%, 47 and 35 and 1%, 48 35.8%. 6. I want to have deeper knowledge of statistics and probability. 32 and 23.9%, 33 and 24.6%, 36 and 26.9%, 18 and 13.4%, 15 and 11.2%. 7. Statistics and probability are topics that I I'm approved for the most and 1 and 0.7%, 12 and 9.0%, 14, 10 and 0.4%, 42, 31 and 3%, 65 and 48.5%, 8. I have confidence in myself when I face statistic and probability problems. 4 and 3.0%, 39 and 28 and 1%, 38 and 28.5%, 41 and 30.6%, 12 and 9.0%, 9. I have fun talking to another about statistic and probability. 11.82%, 24 and 17.9%, 34, 25.4%, 39 and 29.1%, 26 and 19.4%, 10. Statistic probability may be useful those who solve and research, but not another professional. 1 and 0.7%, 2 and 1.5%, 10 and 7.5%, 39 and 29.1%, 32 and 61.2%, 11. Knowing how to use statistic and probability were my first games of working. 34 and 25.4%, 51 and 38.1%, 39 and 29.1%, 6 and 4.5%, 43.0%.